Welcome, broadcasting to the entirety of the Super Smash Bros. Community. This is Beyond the Metagame. I'm your host, Peon, this week live from the Fountain of Dreams. I'm joined, as always, by my handsome co-host, Avi. Avi, how you doing, big boy?
I'm doing pretty great. Doing even better because I can see my reflection in the Fountain of Dreams.
To everybody's benefit, man. To everybody's benefit. For those who don't know, Avi's been hitting the gym. His shoulders. Like, if you ever see him at a tournament, you're not gonna want to fight him. He's got these big old cantaloupes like he's smuggling under his shirt. It's ridiculous. He looks like who's that one guy? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you flatter me too much, dude. I do want to comment on the fact that Fountain of Dreams looks amazing in the new game. And it can support like 8 ice climbers on it, so we're not going to have to worry about frame drops in tournament.
Yeah, I heard this thing where it was actually like people that had the game early were commenting on the fact that there were frame drops and it was really bad. But apparently it's been patched and it's fixed now. So Sakurai's doing some day -2 patching. That man works hard. But before we get into our topic proper, I want to talk about the new countries that our listenership is composed of. So we got Norway, Portugal, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and China. What a list, man. That was just this last week. We got 6 new countries.
Yeah, quite a grab bag of countries. I think this would, like, if I picked a random civilized country generator and I threw I threw it in there, that's probably what I get from this. So it's super cool to see the outreach that we're getting, and I'm really, really excited for the future. Hoping we get Africa so we can finally fulfill world domination.
Yeah. I'm looking for it, man. If you know any, Ethiopians, South Africans, dude, send it their way, man. Just for our sake. This is important. It's arbitrarily important to us for some reason. But man, I'm excited. If you can't hear it in my voice already, this game comes out. By the time that you'll be listening to this, the game is already out or is just about to be. This is an exciting time for the Smash community. We don't get very many moments like this. We don't get very many Smash launches. This is, the 5th in the entirety of human history. It's not that common that one happens. So enjoy it, guys. Yeah,
it's a funny way to look at it. But yeah, I'm super excited for the game. It's going to be very evident during this episode. We jump into a lot of the things that we're looking forward to, a lot of the characters, mechanics. Basically, if we think that the competitive game is going to be a little shaken up at the beginning because of the pirates, we'll get into a lot of interesting topics there. And I will say at the very end, we're going to be announcing the winner of our giveaway. So definitely stay tuned. You have a lot of cool stuff to look forward to.
So all that and more in just 1 second. Welcome back to Beyond the Metagame. This week, Avi and I... Sorry, I can't even talk. Avi and I are so excited, man. This is it. This is the one we've been waiting for, baby. We got... Today, by the time that you're listening to this, the game will either be coming out that night or maybe you're listening to it and the game is already out, and I'm envious of you. Avi, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm like really, really excited. I've seen way too much of the game. I think it's really frustrating seeing so many people already playing it on Twitter, but I think it's going to be such a cool experience going through, unlocking all the characters. Like, I can't wait to be a kid again.
Dude, I don't think I've been this excited for a game in so long. But I mean, especially having this podcast and being a competitive player, like, this is really our life. I mean, like, this is
right.
This is so huge. And dude, like you said, I've just been seeing all that gameplay online, on Twitter, on YouTube, and a part of me was like, Dane, just don't torture yourself, man. Just don't even look at it. but I can't help myself, man. I've been relapsing like multiple times a day. I'm like, dude, any chance I can get a hit, I'm just watching like Ken do like bread and butters at 20%, and I'm like, oh yeah, that'll do. I don't even want to play Ken,
Dude,
but
but those Ken combos look really, really sick. Like I saw this one like 70% true combo, and it was pretty disgusting.
dude, okay, man. But well, let's talk about when you actually get the game. Like, what are you doing? Are you going digital? Are you buying in store? Like, what's your plan?
I want that game at 9 p.m. immediately tomorrow. So I've gone full digital, embraced the world of the internet, and I think that was the logical thing to do because I don't really plan on playing too many other games on my Switch. But one thing I did want to talk about is like just how it's kind of replacing Christmas for me. Like I think that like I used to get really excited for Christmas, but this is like I'm like 10 times more excited for like this than I like I think I am for Christmas this year. Like this is gonna be so cool. But I think when I first get the game, I I am definitely gonna go through a lot of the single player content. That is probably the first thing I'm gonna do when I get the
Okay,
game.
so you're gonna go that route. You're gonna go that route.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really know how much I want to get into spoilers. And I think some people are very spoiler sensitive in terms of like how stuff gets unlocked and stuff like that.
Right, right.
Um, but I do know, and I'll be abstract, that there is kind of a cheesy way to unlock some of the characters. Did you look at that at all? Like, did you look at any of the shortcuts or any of like the speed, the speed unlocking aspects of it, or do you not even really care? Are you just gonna go at your own pace and
I'm
unlock?
gonna go on my own pace. I actually did not look at any of those things on purpose because I'm down on mind taking the long route. Uh, I think that as much as I do want to play this game competitively, there will be plenty of time for me to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, I don't know. So I'm going digital as well. Just
Yeah.
I'm exactly in the same boat as you. And the thing is like I really have a soft spot for physical media. In fact, most of the first Switch games I got, the Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, I got all those games physically. Because there's something so novel about holding it in your hand and being like, this is the game, and having the box on your shelf, and
Right.
I do think that there is something to that. But I don't know, man. I'm a PC gamer. I've been playing PC games my whole life. I realize that at the end of the day, like the actual plastic doesn't mean as much to me as like the actual convenience of making sure that whenever I have my Switch, I have the game. I never will forget it anywhere. I'll never be without Smash.
Right.
So I personally valued that more. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Now, as soon as the clock strikes 9, because yeah, we're on the West Coast, so if you're on the West Coast, the game unlocks at 9 for us. I'm gonna be playing, man, and I have work the next day. But I think I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna be a zombie at work the next day. I don't know if I'll be able to restrain myself.
Right. I mean, it's gonna be super hard. I think it's gonna be at least a pretty long night. I know I haven't been sleeping properly, but it's gonna be another another one because I have so many things that I want to try out. There's so many characters I want to get into. There's I do want to get a hold of the movement. The game does seem very, very different, and I think that getting rid of a lot of habits from Smash 4 is going to be very difficult initially.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel that for sure. I mean, going into it, I mean, like, what are you just gonna do single player? So when you say that, that tells me like you're not gonna do anything like stereotypical. You're not gonna do like the Mountain Dew pizza party. I can invite some homies over. It's gonna be a pretty solitary launch for you.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, here in NorCal, I do have like a few of the homies that I've met in the NorCal community, but I've no direct plans to go over to anyone's house or to start playing multiplayer immediately because I do want to enjoy the single player content. Like I said, I have not played a game like this in a really long time. And I think that something really important to talk about is that this is a marathon in terms of playing the game competitively. If you're not playing the game competitively, then you're on board with what I'm doing. You're probably just gonna do what I did, play through the single player content, enjoy the game at your own pace, which is totally fine. I want to do this mostly because I haven't been able to enjoy a single player game in a long time, and I finally am really excited for one. So I don't want to rush through anything. I like the idea of playing at my own pace. I know that because I have all this like framework built up that we've talked about in terms of how to get into playing a game competitively, when I do want to make that switch eventually, I will know what to flip. I will know what to start labbing, and I will get on it. But,
Bro, you're getting soft on me.
Yeah, I am getting soft on you because I
What are
feel
you gonna adopt a
sentimental.
puppy? What else are you gonna do? You gonna knit a
Yeah,
sweater
right. I mean,
in the loading screens?
I just donated some stuff to charity earlier today, including my
I like how I'm
Wii.
shaming you for adopting a puppy as if it's like some like I think it's like the most noble thing someone could do, but
Right,
I don't
right.
want. But no.
Yeah,
I feel that, man. I mean, I get the whole idea of wanting to take it slow. Like I like the whole concept of it's a marathon on a sprint.
right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have big early plans. And I would actually warn against that mindset. And I'll elaborate in the sense that I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people say like, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do in Ultimate. You know, I'm going to make a big, they have all these expectations for themselves. They're going to make a splash immediately once the game comes out. They're going to get super into content creation, et cetera, et cetera." And I don't mean to discourage those aspirations. In fact, I encourage them. But I hope that people do understand reality in the sense that, look, this game is going to be the Smash game, other than Melee, of course, or Smash 64, but it's going to be the new Smash game, right? For years to come, this is going to be the game. So it's better to set yourself on that course, pace yourself, and accept that, hey, maybe things might not click so early. Maybe you won't be as good at the game as you hoped you'd be initially,
Right.
or relative to how you are at Melee or Smash 4 or whatever other game you prefer right now. Maybe there's going to be some learning pains or some growing pains. So yeah, I hope people do understand, like, it's a marathon. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself going right into the game.
Right. That being said, it seems like you have a slightly different idea going into the game, which I don't think it's that bad to not to go like and start figuring out who you want to play competitively, and I want you to elaborate on what you're going to do when you first start the game.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, of course. I mean, look, a couple episodes ago, I made the claim that my goal going to Ultimate was going to be a PGR player. I mean, that's a pretty lofty goal.
Right.
Maybe one would say unrealistic. And it is. It is. I'm not lying to myself, but I'm pretty self-aware. Like, of course, I want to have a lot of momentum going into the launch, but well, I'll backtrack. What am I going to do? I'm definitely going to take this game pretty seriously at launch. I'm definitely going to take it from a competitive perspective. And so I'm going to be learning, okay, what are the great characters? What is the early meta revolving around? What kind of things are working? What other really good players or what other characters are really good players choosing? If Mewtwo King or Zero is talking about how good Diddy Kong is, that might pique my attention. I'm going to be having my ear up. I'm going to be playing to win, primarily.
Okay. Let me stop you there for a sec, because I want to get into something that we've talked about earlier, and I want to ask you a question.
Go for it, man.
So, are you going to be looking to cheese out? Are you going to be looking to cheese out some wins, or are you going to be looking to get into a character that will likely take you through the entirety of the lifespan of the game?
That is a great question. So yeah, like, okay, have you heard about the Z drop glitch?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'll elaborate to the people that don't know. Basically, there's this concept. People are thinking it's a glitch currently because it isn't very consistent with the rest of the Smash philosophy. In prior games. But the concept is if you're holding an item, let's say Diddy Kong's banana or Mega Man's Metal Blade, and you are in hit stun from like a throw, for instance, you get grabbed and then someone up throws you. While you're in the hit stun, you can drop the banana. So say you have a banana as Diddy Kong, someone throws you, you can hit them so they can't get any combos off their throw.
Yeah.
You can guarantee it. Which is busted. And
Yeah,
it's so dumb
ridiculous.
that it has to be a glitch, right?
I hope so. It seems like a weird a game design philosophy to
Oh, I
just have
really hope so. Because if it's not a
yeah,
glitch, then yeah, that sucks. Those characters are gonna be busted. But
right.
so yeah, to answer your question, like using techniques like that, which are probably gonna be patched out, is that good for you? I'll cheese out a win, man. If I'm in a tournament, I'm winning. I don't care if it's
Okay,
cheese or not.
okay, yeah.
But I also would encourage simultaneously building the competitive framework going forward. So maybe when you're playing serious friendlies with your people in your region or your buddies or just your little brother or whatever, play to win without using that strategy too. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think that you can cheese wins when you have to, but you still want to acknowledge like what is cheese. Because here's the thing, man. This game is likely going to be patched quite a bit.
Hmm.
So one thing going into the game that I'm keeping in mind is I'm going to be learning multiple characters, and I'm going to try to really break down the fundamentals of this game. Like what concepts are universal across the cast. Like is edge guarding really important? Okay, I'm going to pick up 15 characters that are great at edge guarding. Stuff like that. I'm going to try to think more broadly.
Yeah, that's really good. I think I encourage people to do the same. I was going to mention stuff about things that cross over between characters, and one of them is just the concept of only being able to air dodge once, which is going to be huge for a lot of people. I think I've played Melee and Peon's played Melee, so this isn't completely foreign to us. But if you've only played Smash 4 or Brawl, this might feel a little weird. But I think what this is going to do is it's going to favor characters who can keep you in the air for a really long time, because once you've burned that air dodge, you cannot air dodge again. And it's funny how characters that people think are going to be bad because they were nerfed really hard, like Cloud, will actually be better than people think. I think Cloud was nerfed in response to not necessarily the character being amazing in Smash 4, which he was, but also because a character like that in a game like this would be absolutely oppressive. So
One can only wish.
yeah, I'm sorry. We're not going to give you we're not going to give you Smash 4 Cloud back beyond. But I think I think there's a lot to think about in terms of the mechanics of the game. Understanding that you cannot tech grounded spikes anymore. So completely changing the stuff that you go for and the mentality. It's like of how you construct hard punishes. Like in Smash 4, the optimal punish, unless it's off of a footstool with Captain Falcon, is not to go for down air necessarily on stage because you can tech it. But in Smash Ultimate, down air will likely true combo into a plethora of moves. So
For the record, I do think that down air neutral in Smash 4 as Falcon is actually underrated, but I'm with you though. Yeah. I'm with you.
right. I mean, but people don't immediately think about it. I think that it is like
it's a mix up for sure.
It is a mix up because I mean, if people get privy to it, then obviously they're going to start teching your down airs on stage, but they can't do that anymore. So stuff like that. I do think that it's a really strange thought to like, can I abuse something for a really long time that might get patched out, and how will that affect my growth as a player? Let me give a small story before kind of really diving into this. I used to play Sheik. I played Sheik before she got patched, so all I knew how to do was fair. So surprisingly,
I can confirm that, by the way.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I never knew if I was good because I knew how to fare as Sheik, which did everything. It did your laundry, it did your homework, it asked people out on dates for you. Like I think fair was just an absolutely busted move. And the thing is, I realized that I got better as a Sheik player when it got nerfed, which is funny because you don't really have to think when you have an option like the Diddy or Toon Link get out of jail free card with the Z drop during hit stun. So I actually think that using that, there's going to be this like really like unbeatable like scenario in which you just have to focus on one thing. It's like, do you want to win? Just pick the broken mechanic. If you want something that's gonna sustain you, pick something that you feel like is not broken and then sustain, and then go through the game like that. So I actually think it's it's like impossible to separate the two. And I know you mentioned like, oh yeah, just play without the mechanic, and I actually think that'll be way harder for people than you suggested, than how you suggested.
No, it's like this, man. It's like when, for instance, when Smash 4 first came out, you saw like Leffen and Armada. They were both giving it an honest try before they found it just wasn't for them. But they both picked up Diddy Kong, pre-patch Diddy Kong, like the hoo-ha, disgustingly overpowered Diddy Kong. And they were sick. Like they were making top eights in European majors with, just because their fundamentals carried over and they were playing a broken character. Like if you're a really good Melee player, or if you're a really good Smash 4 player, and you have a chance to win some early tournaments because you abuse broken character, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you not to do that. Like that sounds
neither will I.
But I mean, like not using that broken mechanic could be like just play. Make sure you learn some other characters too, and like see if you have fun with anybody else. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not saying don't use your true combos if you have them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I'm just saying just understand that you will have to change things up and start thinking differently if the character gets nerfed.
All right, man. I want to ask you what you think about labbing. So, like, I've seen a lot of like stuff on Twitter, YouTube, whatever. People just like picking a combo. Like, I've seen a lot of Meta Knight stuff, seen some Falcon stuff. Just like experimenting, comboing, stuff like that. And I've always kind of been a cherry picker, or at least I was for a long time. I would kind of just look at videos of players that were better than me. And I'd be like, oh, that's a cool combo. I'll just use that. And I kind of just steal other people's stuff.
Right.
What do you think about that? Like, do you think that there is merit to being an innovator? Do you think that like time is better spent just learning from others? Give me your thoughts.
I think we've talked about this in episode 4, but I will reiterate that and add some spice onto it. I think that it depends on how much time you have. There's 3 categories of players, like we mentioned: people who have time, people who have some time, and people who have no time. I think if you're in one of the second 2 categories, your time is way better spent just copying what other people do. I absolutely think that imitation is the greatest form of flattery and one of the best ways to learn the game. You just have to accept the fact that the majority of people will not be as like dedicated to the game as the top 0.1% will be. So there will be a lot of people creating content for this game, and I think you should use that to your advantage. I think that there is merit to, if you really want to explode out of the gate and get the most advantage that you can as humanly possible, and you have a lot of time to dedicate to this game, you should absolutely do it. Which is why I encourage, if you're in the first slot and you have a lot of time to dedicate to this game for whatever reason, you should innovate stuff, because then you can create like the first YouTube videos and the first content displaying new techniques or displaying cool combos, and that will get you lots of things like relevance to the community.
If you want that Twitter clout.
Like, the Twitter clout.
I have something on this. Yeah. Like, I think that
if
you play a character, like there's some characters that are super hyped, like Young Link, Pikachu. There's a lot of characters where people are like, oh, dude, that character looks so good. This character's top tier for sure. And yeah, like I think that if you were playing one of those characters, maybe it isn't worth your time as much, because there's going to be like so much content out there for those characters. But if you're like right now sitting in your chair listening to this and you're like, man, dude, I don't know, man, Pac-Man looks cool again. Like right. I would encourage some discovery on that front. And I think the most efficient way to do so is like I practice. If you want to, if you're into just like doing some funky stuff and like being really creative and innovative with the game, that's kind of what you enjoy about it. Obviously, this doesn't apply to you. Like, just do that, man. Have your fun. I'm not stopping you. But if you're just talking like, for utility, for practicality, I would really practice your bread and butters against like the other popular characters. I think that like some early practical combos are worth labbing. But like my thesis on this is a majority of your time spent practicing in the first couple weeks of Ultimate, if you do decide to like be serious out of the gate, I think you should be spending it like practicing against top tier matchups or popular matchups, and practicing online and with like other people in your region, and having like constructive practice. I don't think that like super labbing is going to be a great use of your time.
Yeah, I want to disambiguate something really quick because
Disambiguate? What does that mean?
I want to I want to make sure that people understand the difference between labbing and practicing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the terms are used interchangeably a lot of the time, and I don't enjoy that. Maybe I'm a bit picky, but I want to make sure that when we're talking about labbing, we're talking about researching new techniques that haven't been found yet, trying to figure things out for the character. And I want to leave the word practice, or rather, leave the word lab to that, and use practice for everything else. So when you say labbing, that is what you mean, right?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's some crossover. Like let's say like like let's say Falcon up air to knee is true in this game. So
Okay.
like you know that that's a thing, but maybe like you go on to FD and you're like, okay, at what percent does it kill this character on Final Destination? And like, there's so many situations in this game that I think that like in order to practice you have to do a little bit of labbing.
Right, that's discovery, but yeah, so like yeah, that would technically fall under labbing because you're trying to figure out
But can you
something you don't
practice
know.
without labbing?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. You can you've got you like someone, maybe one of your favorite smashers has given you a list called winningwithfalcon.com,
Okay.
and you know when up air to knee connects at every percent at every part of the stage. So you go to you go there and you practice the input, and that is practicing without labbing. You have not discovered anything. You're making sure you can do the input.
And I just realized,
Yeah.
maybe you're just a Donkey Kong main, bro. It isn't that simple with other characters. There's no website. You have to you have to figure it out by yourself. Okay, but regardless, yeah, man. I mean, speaking of just characters, like, what have you seen on Twitter or elsewhere that's been like, whoa, like this character, like using this mechanic, like, talk to me about what you've been seeing.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of things. I've been seeing one of the most important things to the game is parrying. I think that's going to completely change the way the game is played, especially with the newly discovered multi-parry. So I believe you can parry if you can parry multi-hit moves, and I think that's super cool. I think that parries will allow you to get super like clean and clear follow-ups off of them if you have a fast enough move, that's of course. And one of my favorite things that I saw, which is tied to the character I'm most excited for, which is Incineroar. If you parry a move at ledge and you up B after you parry, it's a true kill combo on every character in the game.
Dude, I am never gonna like attack from ledge against an Incineroar. I'll tell you that right now.
You should not. It kills at 0% on every character in the game. I think this is something that they gave Incineroar because you just can't recover like from
Yeah.
so many other things. But yes, you up B, you go to the skies and you fly diagonally down, and you can still actually recover from it with a jump and an air dodge. So that's actually really cool.
I saw this video. It was like captioned "recovering with Incineroar," and it was like a little kitten like jumped, but like only like 1 centimeter there. It was a cute little baby jump, and I'm like, oh, poor Incineroar. No, but yeah, I feel like Incineroar was one of those characters that everybody that's played the demo is like, man, this character doesn't seem that great. But yeah, like those kind of little gimmicky like discoveries, I think will make this character actually really scary in the right hands.
Yeah, I think I want to compare Incineroar to a lot of the grapplers from other games. Very similar weaknesses. Very probably will be. I think if Incineroar is even high on the tier list, like top or higher or high top, I think that is a bad state of the game. I think characters with grappler mechanics and grappler techniques should always be mid or mid low. And the reason I say that is because for game balance, these characters don't feel great to play against. I think people can attest to the fact that being grabbed by DK at a ridiculously low percent and being killed immediately does not feel amazing.
No,
And
no,
I
take it from me, it does not.
yeah. I mean, Peon has suffered me ding donging him at ridiculously low
I
percent
think I've
over and
probably
over
been
again.
ding donged in like the top like 0.01% of the world, like in terms of the quantity of times I've been ding donged. And I think you alone have ding donged me 10,000 times or something.
Yeah, it's very likely, which is super funny, and it's
Like honestly, I think I probably am in the top 20 of all time of people that have gotten ding donged.
that's really funny. It's super funny to think about, but I'm not so like ignorant to the fact that it feels awful. Like I know that it is my win condition and I will use it to win. But I usually look at my opponent's face, whether it's friendlies or bracket, and they're not usually very happy about it. And I always hear like
Nah, bro,
there's
you
like
like it. I know you like it. You're sadistic,
at
dude.
least I gotta okay, come on, I gotta look like a good person. Let me pretend. Let me pretend, okay?
Don't
But
believe him.
I think I always like hear afterward like from people like mumbling is like to their friends like right after the match they're like, oh my god, DK is so stupid. But like that, and that's the point, is that a character who's like DK was high mid like easily, and a character who's high mid tier and has mechanics like that are just very toxic to the game.
All right,
And
hey, you sold
yeah,
me, man. I'm
yeah.
down to burn Incineroar to the ground.
Okay. That being said, it's really easy to make them. It's like if they're unviable, no one's gonna play them. So it's this huge balancing act of what they're gonna do with like a character like that.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a hard place to balance for sure for that reason. Like when they're too good, they're OP and annoying to fight. When they're too bad, they're just like completely unviable and nobody even wants to play them. So I feel that.
Yeah.
But dude, I've been seeing some cool stuff too. I think that I don't know if you've seen like the Meta Knight ladders. Like
No, no.
it
Yeah.
seems like Meta Knight. People are saying it's like a weird hybrid of Brawl Meta Knight and Smash 4 Meta Knight, where he'll go like up air, up air, up air, and then he'll kill you with a tornado off the side at like 50.
Oh yeah. The tornado looks disgusting. Like I think that'll probably be in the day one patch. Like the tornado, not only does it kill at like 50 off of the side once you've been carried there, it has incredible vertical and horizontal mobility.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah.
like a move that does it all. But I just want to say in general, a lot of people were talking about like, hey man, maybe Smash Ultimate's not gonna have as many combos as Smash 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really agreed with that. I mean, the whole concept of balloon knockback definitely indicates that at least like at like mid higher percents, there probably will be less combos. Theoretically, that's just what you would assume. But the truth of it is, or at least the way I look at it, is that well, if you go back and watch like day one Smash 4 videos, it is so trash, man. Like watching people, I would rather watch a lot of like terrible, gruesome acts than watch like a day one Rosalina Ditto. It's brutal, man. It was so slow.
Yeah.
Like watching like Hungry Box versus Zero at the Smash 4
Oh, the timeout.
E3 championships. Yeah, the infamous timeout. It was so brutal, so slow, so boring, no combos, and everybody was worried. Like, man, this game's gonna be slow. And then now you look at it, you see Abadongo versus Anti or something. I don't even know these. I can't even recall a time they played, but in that match you would see like Anti just going crazy every single time he gets a hit. He's taking it to 80%. Abadongo's doing crazy like footstool to disables to up smashes to, like the game actually got to a really high speed throughout the game's lifespan. And
Right.
I expect the same of Ultimate. Sorry to finish my rant. I think that Ultimate is actually going to have a lot of combos. And what I've been seeing so far is like aggressive, legitimate, realistic, crazy combos all over the place that people have already found before the game came out. So I have a lot of high expectations, man. The game looks cool.
I absolutely agree. Now, I will be the first one to admit that I was a detractor at the beginning, and I was I was very pessimistic about how the knockback was going to function, and those fears have been resolved after looking at a lot of content on Twitter. So I guess it's a good and a bad thing. Like I'm happy that that the game seems like it's going to be very competitive. Not so happy that I've been that I feel like a lot of the game has been revealed before the launch. But I agree, there's a lot of really cool things, especially with another character who I'm really excited about, Ike, who I played actually a decent amount in Smash 4, has amazing tools. And to cite one of them, it would be the Nair to up air kill confirm.
I did not see that. Oh, really? That's the thing?
it looks disgusting. I think at like 80 to 90%, you nair them, and then it sends them in the perfect angle to just do a full hop up air, which will kill.
That'll be cool, man. I think Ike's a really cool character, so I'll
Yeah.
be happy if he's good. But yeah, man. Actually, speaking of characters, just to wrap this up, is there anybody that you would recommend? Like, let's say there's a melee player, or maybe a newer Smash Four player,
Mhm.
maybe just a noob entirely. Is there like a certain couple of characters that just going into the game, theoretically, you would recommend?
Absolutely, Sheik. I say this because especially if you're coming from melee, Sheik is going to feel similar in the sense that the edge guard tech chase playstyle will favor you. I think Sheik will have a lot of good tools, will have the mobility that you like and the mobility that you're used to, and will have, I think, a better dash dance than in melee, I believe. And the movement with B reverses and needle canceling will just it'll I think it'll feel great. Sheik is one of those characters that just has a lot of really good tools, and with the way that air dodges work in this game, I think that the edge game and the juggling game is just going to it's going to make her a lot different than she was in Smash 4.
I feel that. I think that's a great pick for melee players. But in terms of like,
Right.
the average noob, I feel like she looks pretty tough. She looks pretty physically demanding.
Sure. So I think you should first. I'd want to ask you the same, except for what if you're going from Smash 4? Because I kind of answered the melee side.
Yeah.
What if you're going from Smash 4 and you have a little bit of experience? What character would you dive into?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, let's say I was if I had to just brainwash a Smash Four player right now and
Yeah.
just erase all of their current knowledge, like think like Men in Black style, like I just
Right.
flashed in their eyes, and they were like, okay, yo, Peon, I don't remember anything about this game. What character should I play to get good at Smash Four? I would say, bro, Cloud. Play Cloud. He's good. He's easy. He's fun. He can play offense and defense. Play Cloud. He's kind of a jack of all trades character.
Right.
And this is coming from a Cloud main, so no offense to my other Cloud mains out there. In Ultimate, I'm trying to find a character that's like that. That looks pretty, universal, easy combo, stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's who I would recommend. But I don't know if I found that, if I'm being honest. Like, looking at gameplay, the sorties look really intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Marth, Roy, Crom, he looks really solid. Characters where you can run up, swing, but do so safely, I think are pretty universally easy to play. So maybe I would pick a sortie, but that's not a very good answer. I understand.
I think it's a good answer, actually. I think it's a better answer than just telling that. I think it's a better answer than mine, which is literally just tell people to play Sheik. Although I do actually firmly believe in that. To kind of follow up on your thing, I actually think people should play Ike. Ike fits a lot of similar things that Cloud has in Smash 4, which is the ability to juggle. The up air basically functions similarly to Cloud's up air, obviously not completely the same. The hitbox does not last for the greater part of the 21st century, and and there's and there is a lot of stuff that is very intuitive. Fair seems safe on shield because of the landing lag changes. There seems safe. Nair seems safe. So you're gonna get a lot of safe options, and the kill confirm looks very simple. Nair to up air. That grab there's you can learn how to do grab combos, which is if I'm correct, which from the footage that I've seen, Ike does have up throw grab combos like he did in Smash 4. So there's like a lot of things that kind of are packaged into this character that might be a good idea to start with day one.
Yeah, I'm with that, man. He's definitely a good fundamentals character, and he looks pretty solid too. Just from the limited footage I have seen of him. But
Yep.
cool, man. And I want to, mention none of this footage would be possible, right? None of this knowledge, none of these impressions that we would have would be possible if it wasn't for perhaps one of the most controversial events and all of, I don't know if Nintendo history is too strong, too
Yeah.
hyperbolic, but at least competitive Smash history. And of course, I'm referring to the piracy. And I want to just start by saying that the ethics of piracy is not something that I'm going to, you know, educate you on or school you on. Look, it's in many instances a kind of a gray area, and I'm not your dad, right? It's not my place. Your ethics are your own, and I'm not going to judge you for them. But the truth is, if you even go on YouTube and you listen to a song, you're probably benefiting from somebody's copyright infringement. You know, I mean, any YouTube lyric video is even streaming. You know, the game Smash, even tournaments for the last many years have been in kind of this ethical gray area where Nintendo actually uh, only didn't strike down our streams because they received backlash every time they did. I mean, think Evo 2013 when Nintendo wrote a cease and desist for Evo and said, "Hey, you guys can't stream our event." Right? And so look, I'm not trying to say that no one. I'm not trying to say that I'm perfect, that anyone's perfect, but I do want to talk about the fact that the piracy has kind of created the situation where if you truly were the most tryhard, if you wanted to be a top player, you probably ended up pirating the game. I'll be on record first saying that neither AV nor I did pirate the game or play anyone's pirated game. But frankly, if somebody had come to my house and been like, "Yo, Peon, I brought Smash Ultimate," I don't think I would have said no. I don't know if I'm strong enough.
Right. Yeah.
So
that would take some serious self control. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm not shaming anybody, and I'm also not trying to be pious. But I do want to ask you, what you think of the whole situation.
Yeah, so it's an obviously this is not a unique situation. There's been lots of games that have been leaked, lots of content on the internet that's been pirated. Although it's interesting because this has a lot of ramifications, such as the tournaments that will happen on launch day and like 2 or 3 days after launch day. I looked on Twitter and there's someone who said I have about 50 hours into the game, and and I just thought to myself, 50 hours. That's the playtime of most like solid single player like RPG games.
That's a beefy one, man.
Right. I mean, yeah,
I mean, I played through SteamWorld Dig 2. I loved that game. I checked the other day. I played it for 5 hours. And it was like one of my favorite games on the Switch.
All right, then I won't even say most. I said most good ones will have at least 50 hours of content. Well, including endgame and stuff. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like these people are gonna have such a huge advantage going into the first few tournaments, and I can't like I don't want to make any like value judgments or trying to do any virtue signaling here to say that it's like that that like okay it's great like I feel like amazing for not pirating the game or that you shouldn't have pirated the game. All I'm gonna say is that if you did, that's cool. Like I think you should enjoy your advantage right now. But if you didn't, which is probably the majority of people, just keep going back to that one mantra that I said. It's just it's a marathon, not a sprint. Understand that the playing field will even out. And if you don't like this idea, just like with anything else, don't attend tournaments initially. Or if you do, go to play friendlies. In fact, that's what I recommend you do. Go play friendlies with the people that have been playing for this game for a lot. Obviously, they would be really excited to tell you everything that they've learned over the course of this game. I think these people shouldn't be shamed. I agree. I also think that they'd probably have a lot of knowledge that you can get from them. So take advantage of it if you can. and don't make them feel bad. Like, I mean, like, I saw people on Twitter saying like, if I beat you and you pirated the game, I'm popping off like super hard.
But
Like,
dude, I kind of empathize with that. Like, I
okay, yeah,
understand that. Like, here's the thing. A couple of my friends were talking about carpooling to MSM.
yeah,
Mega Smash Mondays in SoCal. Yeah, I live pretty far away from MSM, so it'd be quite the trek. It'd be quite the commitment.
mhm.
5 hours one way, right? And I've done it before. I'm crazy enough to have done it before.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I wanted to go. I was like, maybe I can leave work early that day and I can do the journey, do something crazy. But then I thought about, like, look, all those people from SoCal that have been tweeting all their clips that they've been playing for the last 2 weeks. I don't want to go enter a tournament and play against people that have been playing this game for, 14 more days than I have been. That's gonna be such a huge. And then if I lost a match, I thought, man, like, would I be kind of salty? Would I be like, man, I wonder if this guy pirated? It gives this weird like mental circumstance that I've never had to face in a Smash game, and I don't think any of us have. Um,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
so I wanna first, before we talk about like how we are planning on dealing with that. You already kind of got into it. I want to talk a little bit more about just like the fact that for the first time ever, there's kind of been this weird financial slash ethical barrier to improvement, right? Normally, if you want to improve at Smash, your only limitations are, perhaps the people around you, but most importantly, the person behind the controller, yourself, your own mindset. Um, but in this instance, it's changed. I mean, if you like, look, man, I don't know for sure, but I guarantee. Well, those two things contradict each other. I don't know for sure, but I guarantee.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you guarantee
Whatever.
90%, 100% of the time.
we'll go with it. We'll go with it. I guarantee that a lot of I'd say a majority of the top 20 on Smash 4 PGR pirated the game. And this is their livelihood. This is their legacy. This is their life. It's kind of like the prisoner's dilemma. If none of them did it, it wouldn't be an issue. But because one other person might, they're all tempted to, and they all kind of, feel that they have to. And I really don't blame it. If I'm Zero, or I'm Zero's coach, I'm gonna pirate that thing. Call me Davy Jones, and I'm gonna take a bus to Zero's house. I'm gonna hand this to him, like, okay, play. You're welcome. No questions asked, right? But okay. Rant over. I want to ask you, how do we think, how do you deal with this? If you play against, Shoyo James, who's been tweeting out his combos the last 2 weeks, in bracket, in a week from now, and you lose, how do you deal with that?
It's a great question. I think that when you actively go and enter one of these early tournaments, you are doing so at the cost of knowing that someone is likely pirated the game. It's just as simple as that. Just don't enter tournaments if that's going to be a thing that'll make you angry. You have to, again, like I said, you need to be just self-aware of your of who you are as a person. We've said this a lot on the show, and it's going to be more important now than ever. Understand, are you someone who would be like unduly angered or just disproportionately like just incensed by the idea of someone beating you simply because they had an opportunity that was put behind a financial or ethical barrier? And if you are in the category of people that would be mad about that, I implore you to not like enter the tournaments. There's go have fun, learn about the game, and wait like for the playing field to get even, and then play. Obviously, like no one has self-control, so that sounds like ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous, especially for all of the competitive players. I'm just saying that because that is my official recommendation.
Yeah.
Like if you want an official recommendation, that is what I say. Like I think people say this all the time. I know, like Hearthstone, the game has been getting a lot of flack lately. I people are saying like vote with your money, because a lot of people don't like the decisions that the development team has been doing. So they say don't buy expansion packs, don't buy don't pre-order don't pre-order the new expansions, or don't buy extra classic packs or stuff like that. But people always do. When it comes down to it, people always hit that pre-order button because no one has self-control like that. And I have to empathize with the fact that if you go to a tournament and you're it's like, and you're there and you've listened to my advice, and it's like, okay, AV said that if you're too mad, that people are pirating the game, just don't enter. And then the TO comes up to you and is like, yo, are you entering? And you got that five or $10 in your wallet, and
your Inklin's been moving pretty good.
Yeah, you just give it up, and you're just like, what's the worst that can happen? And I totally empathize with you. That's probably going to happen. And the thing is, at that point, you just got to say, I am going, just say okay, I'm probably gonna lose. Just go in with zero expectations. And that's my true advice to you. Well, you got my official advice. My true advice to you is zero expectations. Go into the game understanding that there's a lot of people who have different playstyles than you that might benefit the game. A lot of people that have different opportunities than you that might benefit that. So understand that it's going to be a wild jungle out there at the very beginning.
Yeah, this is my take. It's 2 weeks is a big advantage now. Right? Let's say you want to enter a tournament a week after the game officially releases. Mm-hmm. There are some people that have been playing for 3 weeks. You've played for 1 week. That's 3 times the amount of time behind the sticks your opponent might have over you, right? That's a huge advantage. So make a time-oriented goal that is a couple months after release, 3-4 months after release. Play for a whole season, and then evaluate and say, okay, look, at that point, some guys played for 4 months and 2 weeks, and you played for 4 months. I mean, at that point, you've had time to catch up. So I would say take these early tournaments, and this is for everybody. I mean, even if you're not against a couple of, what's his name? Jack Sparrows, right? Take these early results with a grain of salt. Have fun with the game. Foster your passion for the game. Find people to play with that you enjoy to play with. I think that those are more important. Set that foundation with which to build upon. And hey, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? That's the old saying. Or some Mike's Hard lemonade if you're feeling festive. But yeah. What I mean by that is, let's say Ryuga or Shoyo James are in your region, right? Or some other guy that pirated the game. Look, that guy's your encyclopedia for a month, all right? Every question you have, every combo that you are thinking about, go over to that guy's house. Whatever you got to do to leverage that advantage, as silly and as dumb as it is, I mean, I think that it's good to do so. I think that's all I have to say on the matter. Maybe anything else?
Oh, that's about it. I think you covered the other half of it very well. As you get older, the percentage of every following year is a smaller percentage of your total life. Similarly, as your Smash Ultimate career gets older, every passing day is a smaller percentage of your total career. So exactly.
Is that why my whole life hasn't really meant much to me in the last 2 years? Does that explain the hollow emptiness in my soul?
No, that can be only explained by Cloud.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say my ginger hair color.
No.
Okay, but guys, that brings us to the end of our main topic. We got a little gloomy at the end, but I think it was worth talking about. I think it's an important topic and something I've been thinking about. That said, my excitement is unparalleled. I haven't been this excited for anything in a long time. Long time. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I wouldn't even think about what my first purchase would be until I unlocked Inkling. I was like, okay, cool. Give me a minute. I need a minute. Okay, I'll get to it. That's where I'm at. I feel like a kid at a candy store and whose mom just slipped him a $5 bill and said, "Go crazy." I'm about to absolutely have the time of my life, and I hope that you guys all do as well.
Yeah, I think I have a very similar I have a very similar feeling in which I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah.
So
Feels
that's
like love.
yeah. Well, yeah, maybe so. Like, I actually think that like there is like something about it. There's like, yeah, you have like butterflies in your stomach, and like it's like you have this like huge excite. It's like a first date. Like I think that's actually what you're like waiting for
Yeah.
this like it's like
You're
it's
at the
like just
soda parlor. You look over. Who's that
right.
attractive woman? Who is she? She's wearing a skirt. Oh, is that Michelle? Is that Michelle Obama? Is she my date? Yes. Did you see?
Dude,
Did you see when George Bush slipped Michelle Obama a candy bar at George Bush's father's funeral?
is it? Are you messing with me, or did
No,
this
this is
actually happen?
great. This is totally not
Really?
Smash related, but it was actually really cute.
Oh,
It was a great example
that
of
is
like,
really
hey,
cute.
people from different sides of the aisle can still be friends. So that just like
Definitely.
how pirates and non-pirates can still play friendlies together. But
Right.
but yeah, man.
Before we jump out, I actually want to funnily draw the similarities between our advice that you'd give to someone on day one of Smash Ultimate and our advice that you give to someone on a first date,
Okay, I'm with
and
you.
how similar they are. All right, so the first thing is you go in with zero expectations, like
Yeah.
like you don't like you don't, and it's like and the thing is you don't try to, and when you get there you don't try to make things too complicated. You know that the entire thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. One bad one All right, actually, one bad experience could pretty much ruin anything. So okay, the analogy fell apart, but I'm sure there's a bunch of ways to make it better.
All right, man. Hey, good luck to all my Tinder and Grinder users. But that said, how's your excitement, man? Tell me what your closing thoughts are in terms of how you're feeling about tomorrow.
Sure. I think that like I said, I have never been this excited for something in a very long time, especially a video game, and I can't wait to get my hands on Incineroar. For some reason, I just like that there's an actual grappler character. Like in Guilty Gear, I played Potemkin. In Street Fighter, I attempted to play Zangief, although I wasn't that great. I was really not that great at Street Fighter. And in Smash 4, obviously, I played DK, same as in PM. I think that I just really love the grappler archetype. So that is what excites me most about the game. I know a lot of people aren't too excited about Incineroar for a variety of reasons. For the fact that it's not their preferred Pokemon. It's not
He just looks weird, man. Am I crazy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody out there. Sort looks like
yeah.
a weird goblin man. I don't know. Where's my girl Pre Marina at? All
All right.
right.
Primarina would put everyone to sleep with her water songs.
I'd be down.
I think I'm just really excited for just the exploration of the game, and like I said at the very beginning, for taking my time and going through the single player content and not actually caring about competitive at all, because I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be storming out of the gate playing this game competitively. And the thing is, I was a complete and utter casual at the very beginning of Smash 4. Believe it or not, like even though I kind of started doing well in the competitive scene later, I was a casual for the first year and a half. So it doesn't take that long to become relevant in the competitive scene.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man. I'm glad you're excited. I hope Incineroar brings you much happiness. I hope you never use him against me. Well, anyway, I'll be happy to beat him. But that said, man, I want you to talk about the announcement, right? And today, I do have to tell you guys, we are announcing the winner of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate giveaway. And one of the conditions, actually, in entering the giveaway, it was one of the ways that you could earn more points to increase your chances of victory, was to send us a question. And that question is simple. What are you looking forward to in Smash Ultimate? Avi, why don't you read some of our responses?
Right. I'm going to read off some of my favorite ones. One is everything with a bunch of exclamation marks. I respect it.
Are they anonymous?
They are not. Are they anonymous? Yeah, I believe they are.
Okay.
All right. So one of them is everything. One of them is Palu being decent. Palutena does look really cool. I think Explosive Flame being the default special. That's the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is going to allow for a lot of really cool follow ups. I'm pretty excited for that.
Cool.
What do you think about Palu?
She has green hair. I don't know.
Great answer. Ken Masters. Ken looks like a much more big brained version of Ryu.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Dude, Ken's so cool.
I just want to play that song. I want to hear that one. Okay, but anyway.
I think we got Inkling. Yeah, Inkling looks really good actually. Looks like a top tier character. What do you think?
Yeah, Inkling. I'm right there with you. I had the only amiibo I own is an Inkling. My girlfriend got it for me because me and her played a bunch of Splatoon 1 together. And I've been playing I played some Splatoon 2 as well. I love the Splatoon franchise. I think the characters are cool. I don't know, man. Something about it. It appeals to like the 90s man at heart. Mm-hmm. Like the side of me that wants to put Z's where S's are supposed to go. And like the side of me that like wants to do tech deck flip like kick flips and like watch the X Games.
The tech kick flips are timeless, so don't. Dude, I think. All right, one is beating all my friends as Pichu and spiking people with Piranha Plant.
I can empathize with that.
It's Smash. Fair. Mewtwo is going to be turbo broken.
See, that sounds like something that Inkling would say. Like, it's turbo broken. That's like something I would say, like in reference to Tony Hawk's first 900. Mm-hmm. That was turbo broken.
Definitely. Snake's insane combos. I think that's. I don't think that's something I've seen a lot. Have you seen anything about Snake?
Yeah, I saw Ally do like this crazy shield break punish on Battlefield. Killed a guy with a broken shield at 0% as Snake. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've seen some stuff. He looks cool.
Fair. We got World of Light. That's what I'm looking forward to. So good stuff. Spectator mode. That's pretty huge. Finally, when you're in a lobby, in a Wi-Fi lobby, you don't have to have the other person go SD with Jigglypuff twice. That's really nice.
A lot of that kind of just to piggyback on that, a lot of the little quality of life things that they added to the game. I'm so looking forward to, like the fact that you have to pick stages first, the fact that you have to pick the rule set first, all those little touches that Sakurai's team put in. Mm-hmm. I'm so looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of attention to detail, and that's probably going to be one of our favorite things about the game because it's all about the small things. You know, it is all about the small things. Reliving the experiences of a new Smash game with friends. Now that makes me really happy.
That's pretty wholesome, man.
I love that. I love that so much. Beating Peon in Falcon Dittos.
Okay, I don't know who you are, but you better at me, and I'm telling you, day one, I'm gonna give you my Switch code, and my day one Falcon's gonna just beat your ass. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
All right, I actually know who this is, but for their because I can tell, but for their safety, I will make them anonymous.
I think I might know who it is too.
I'm looking forward to all of the characters. There, everyone is here. All right, that is similar to the last one. Lucas's Bear Spike.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Lucas's back air is so cool.
Wait, did they change it?
No, but I mean, it's cool.
You know, fair. Like, if that's what floated your boat in Smash 4, it's definitely going to do it for you in Ultimate.
I had this phenomenon where like I got Smash 4, and one of the things that like I was obsessed about, I'd be eating lunch or whatever, and I'd be thinking about like that wonderful little sound effect it makes me like land a back air as Falcon in Smash 4. It's this like crunchy sort of a, and it was so satisfying. I would think about it like mid tuna sandwich, and so maybe like for him or her, it's the Lucas back air that really does it for him. So, hey.
I'm just thinking about you. It's like whenever you experience anything good, you just hear like Falcon's back. Oh
In the
my
wedding
God.
chamber. That's
All
all I can
right, we
think
got
about. Sorry, honey.
Pichu. Fair Pichu actually looks good because it's hard to make because Pikachu looks amazing. So I actually think Pichu will be viable in this game. Uh,
Say that to Melee, bro.
let's see something that's interesting. All right, the mostly the new characters, World of Light, as World of Light, being the best player. That's
Ooh.
fair. Okay, I respect it. I respect it.
Did you say you're gonna pick your favorites, Maybe aren't we like 30 of these in?
Dude, I like a lot of these answers.
All right, pick one more.
All right, all right. Getting killed at 20% by a bleeping dog.
Oh, is that Incineroar or is that Duck Hunt? What are they talking about?
No, bro.
Incineroar's a cat, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Who's the dog? Oh, Lucario.
Yeah, that Lucario is a dog.
Lucario kills you at 20. That's probably
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Lucario is a dog. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, there you have it.
All right, there you have it.
Either that or like their golden retriever is just like a phenom. He's like the Airbud of esports.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
they need to make an Airbud sequel, but esports edition.
Yeah, if Airbud was so good, why isn't there an Airbud 2?
Wasn't there like 15 Airbuds?
Dude, I have no clue.
Come on, bro. Trust me, I'm white. I watch TV during the daytime. There's like 15 Airbuds.
Dude, I mean, I was born in America, but I wasn't white enough to watch Airbud and its 15 sequels.
Right. Well, we should watch them sometime. That said, those were all entries into our giveaway. And our giveaway winner has been selected randomly by Gleam. And AV, I'm gonna let you do the honors, big boy. You ready for that? I'm gonna do you a little drum roll.
Okay.
And the winner is
Edson Bays 53 at gmail.com.
Woo! Congratulations, Edson. Happy for you. Ultimate is on us this time around. So I hope that many good memories come from this. I hope that you, every single time you get a sweet combo, you think, hey, thanks to AV and Peon, this combo was made possible. But yeah, man, we appreciate
I really hope you don't do that.
I insist that you do.
But it's like no matter what, it's like you're. It's like we're to thank for every single good combo.
Dude, if he becomes a top player, if he gets on if he wins Genesis, I'm just gonna have to feel partially responsible. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, fair.
But yeah, congratulations and thank you to everybody who entered. We got such a great response. We'll definitely be doing another one of these in the future. Perhaps not Ultimate. We'll probably have to give something else away because most, I imagine that everybody's buying the game anyway. But yeah, we'll figure out something cool to give away. We'll do another competition of some sort. I want to even go further outside the box. Maybe not even a giveaway, but some other fun competition. But yeah, that's all in the works. That said, that brings us to the conclusion of this week's episode. Guys, thank you. Enjoy Ultimate. Have fun with the game. Go on this crazy ride and let it take you somewhere special. And I can't wait to hear about all your guys' journeys. Tweet out at us. What are you guys doing in Ultimate? What are your plans? Tweet us your combos. Join our Discord. I know that there's going to be a lot of discussion there. But you can find our Twitter, speaking of, at Beyond Metagame. There was no room for the. And our Discord is actually going to be linked in this week's show notes. And it will be tweeted. We're making it public officially. We were in the invite phase, but now we're making it universally accessible. So go ahead and give that a click down below and join our community. AV, where can people find you?
People can find me at A plus my long Indian last name, A Vaidyanatha. I will pronounce it out. And where can people find you, Peon?
I'm at Peon_GCE for all you Christians. And guys, thank you so much. Enjoy Ultimate. Until next time, goodbye.